Wow, it's almost upon us. We're talking about the final eliminator fight between the number 1 and 2 world-ranked light heavyweights, Joshua Buatsi and Dan Azeez, who go head-to-head at the Oval Arena here at Wembley in London. And I can tell you, Spencer's here, Simon's here, and the boys are here. Josh Buatsi, Dan Azeez, good afternoon.
Afternoon.
How's it going?
It's going well. The atmosphere has changed somewhat, guys, and we understand why. So Simon and I have been on here since 10. Spencer joined us at 12, and it's now 12:18. And you guys come in, and we get it. So you don't mind, Josh, Dan, if I describe to those watching on YouTube and Facebook, and there are many, many listening all around the UK and beyond, the atmosphere has changed because these two, who are normally best of friends, go into the ring in a matter of days to fight each other. And of course, the mood between the two of them changes. And boy, I can see that. Josh, let's start with you. I mean, it's my understanding you guys, as good mates, would talk to each other on a regular basis. But because of what's about to happen, you haven't spoken to each other for weeks, maybe months.
Yeah, I think it's very normal. When I look at my iPhone now, I don't expect to see Dan's name and vice versa. So after the fight, maybe, but it's very normal. If I looked at my phone and his name was on there, I'd think, was he messaging me for? So I think it's standard, yeah.
Guys, how difficult is it to put that aside? You know, we know the business of boxing. We know what it is, and it is a business. But how difficult is it to put that friendship aside? Because, I mean, you know, you go back a long way. You know, you're brought up in the same area and whatnot, trained in the same gym. Josh, you know, you've done your whole thing. Olympics, Dan, you come up behind that. Yeah. And you've developed great as a fighter. But now, you know, with everything on the line and with what's there for the winner as well, how difficult is that to put them emotions aside?
Key word is, like you said, everything's on the line. So with that being said, I think it's not as hard as it seems. If you and Simon, as good friends as you are, were going to fight each other, you'd put everything behind. If it's at a place where there's an audience, there's smaller gloves, there's lights, there's something at stake. So I don't think it's that hard. Dan wants to win and I want to win, so I don't think it's that hard.
What do you think, Dan?
Yeah, maybe just like the build-up. Yeah, that makes it a little bit awkward. But going in there and fighting, I don't really see the big deal, I guess. Apart from, like, you know, what's at stake. You know, we sparred so many times, you know, we're laughing and joking. As soon as we get in the ring, we're trying to take each other's head off. So I know that's going to be intensified come fight night. So that aspect of it isn't really different.
You're looking at me, Josh. Dan's looking at me, but you're not looking at each other.
Yeah, I have, next Saturday to look at more like I want.
You won't look at him.
I don't mind. I've seen Dan already. I've seen Dan too many times.
Listen, guys, I suppose what I understand it, right, because I'm a former fighter, but what the listeners will be, and the viewers as well, will be wondering is, like, how do you put those emotions aside? Like, how easy is that? Like, and I know it's just like a switch, bang, you go in there, and now it's business. I totally get that. But how do you take those emotions out of it?
There's pride on the line, and most importantly, this is what we do. We do fight. It happens to be Dan, who I know, but again, if I'm backed in a corner and someone's trying to beat me up, I'm going to make sure I come out on top. So I don't think it's as hard as maybe for the average man. They cannot understand it, but for fighters, we know what's up.
So, I mean, is it easier for you boys if this is business, right? And both of you got an opportunity on the back of this. You've switched from Matchroom into Sky and you want to be marquee. You've come up the harder way and you want your opportunity. Is it easier if it's just business, or does it make it easier if it's personal? In terms of, you want to go in a ring, you're going to go in there and the first punch in the face you get, you're going to forget what you like about one another or don't like about one another, right? That's how it works. But the personal side, when you don't like somebody, when somebody gets on your nerves or somebody's offended you, because neither one of you are going to go out of the way to offend one another, are you, up in this build-up? Either one of you can answer that question. Is it easier if it's business, or is it easier if it's personal?
It's a great question.
I think it's probably easier if it's personal, because you go in there and say, yeah, I'm going to really enjoy bashing your head in. Like, you know, you're going to probably get more satisfaction from it. But every fight I've had, it's always been business. I've always gone in there, look, I just got a job to do, like, no matter who it is. And I think taking that emotional element out of it gives you an advantage, you know what I mean? The person who can maintain composure at ease, I think they're at the better advantage.
Yeah.
But yeah, if it's personal, I've had fights where I don't like the person and I've really enjoyed whacking them in. You know what I mean? So,
What about
but
you,
yeah.
Josh? What about you?
It's the same. I think it's always business. Whether I like you or don't like you, the punishment I'm going to give you is going to be the same.
You're in my way.
That's it, and it's nothing personal.
Yeah, I mean, the first fight that you were due to have, this fight was rescheduled to this date that's coming up on the 3rd of February, and that was from October. Now, Dan, you were in here and you were sounding off because you had a legitimate injury, didn't you?
Yeah.
But you were not happy about some of the conversation that was floating about.
Yeah.
Tell us
it
about
was
that.
main-
I hadn't seen you before like that.
Mainly because no one's actually directly come to me and said, oh, you know, something's off, or, you know, this injury's this, or it's not legitimate. Not up till to this day, no one directly, even Josh hasn't even directly said, do you know what I mean? It was just when... Say that again?
In what sense?
You've never actually said, Dan, I think your injury was you
I'll
said...
tell you what I did. I even messaged them. I said, Dan, speedy recovery, hope everything's cool. That's initially. But of course, time ago, I'm thinking, right, was Dan injured? Was he not? Until now, sitting here, I don't even know. He probably was. But I have no idea. But,
this is what I'm saying is...
Someone saying about it, wasn't it?
Yeah, no,
but initially,
it was,
I definitely messaged them because first I heard of it. I said, right, is he injured? I hope he's not injured. Speedy recovery, yeah.
That was nice. And it was a legitimate injury.
Yeah, and do you know what it was? It was with... I think it's because Eddie was just playing that narrative, and because he's such a big figure in the sport, that's what was kind of peeing me off. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whether Josh thought it was legitimate or it wasn't, the fact that, yeah, you know, he messaged me, he said, look, speedy recovery, that's the Josh I know, like, you know what I mean? Because I would expect that for the years we've known each other, Dan wouldn't do something like that. So I would have preferred, if he didn't believe it, I would have probably even preferred if he said, oh, you piece of like, you're bottling it. Sorry for the language. You know, you're bottling it. Watch when we do get it
Get
on.
rid of that one.
So do you know what I mean?
One more to go.
You were frustrated because what was being played out was a game between two promoters. wasn't it?
Exactly, and I'm in the midst of it, like, so I didn't really appreciate it, and especially the whole scenario. It kind of like, I guess I was a bit emotional, but now
You came across well. You made your point, but we're here now. And
Yeah,
I think
exactly.
the fight has gotten bigger over that period of time.
Yeah,
because we've
absolutely.
seen what's gone on in the light heavyweight division. We've seen Lyndon go in and get a little bit of a lesson from Bivol. We've seen Ben Whittaker go out again. The light heavyweight division's got a lot of juice around it, a lot of noise around it right now. So I think this fight's got even bigger.
It has, Simon. And you've both had to re-engage. You've both had to reschedule. How difficult has that been, Josh? Right, it's not happening now, but it will happen in February. And now we're almost into February, so it's here. But has that been tricky?
Maybe a few months ago, yeah, but camp's been done now. Like, I've been away for about 8 weeks. Done what I've had to do. I'm here for the last 2 weeks. Yeah, initially I was like, damn, I've got to redo all of this again. But my team and the coaches, we kind of rescheduled things and restructured things, should I say. And I think we made the best out of it.
Have you already got a picture in your mind, Josh, as to how this unfolds?
No. I think this is one of those ones where you have to be there, you have to tune in to see how it's going to be. I've been working very hard and knowing what I have to do, but let the bell ring. That bit I'm excited about, let the bell ring, and we'll see what happens.
You, Dan?
Yeah.
You got a picture in your mind about standing with your hand raised at the end?
Yeah, definitely. That image, I have to, because, you know, you get an image in your head and you try and make that image become a reality. And I just see it being a barnstormer.
Do you know where the weakness is in this man? If there is a weakness, and I know you respect him hugely, but do you know where the weakness is in Josh Buatsi?
I'll be honest, I just look at his strengths, man, and then just, do you know what I mean? And just working, trying to overcome that, and, you know, imposing my strengths on him. Like, do you know what I mean? I don't look at and think, oh, this is his weakness, because he's, like you said, he's been away for 8 weeks. He could have been working on that. I don't want to get in there and think, oh, this was a potential weakness, and then, you know, on the fight night, it's not there. Like, do you know what I mean? So I'll look at his strengths. I know that what his strengths are,
right?
No doubtly, and yeah, I'm working.
You're laughing now. You're more relaxed now, aren't you?
Yeah.
Than when you came through that door 15 minutes ago.
No, I think I've always been quite relax.
Even
That's just
Josh
me.
is almost breaking into a grin.
Well,
Not
I'm
quite. Don't
laughing
look
a
at me
little
like
bit.
that.